Hey everybody, we're live at Paste Studios right now with Gabriel, which is the project of Gabi Alter. Gabi, thank you very much for being here. Everybody, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Man. Yeah. And we've got a special guest as well. MC Frontalot is going to join us on the fourth song today. We've got four songs coming up. Three of them are off of your self-titled debut, and then one is Frontalot's song from his 2005 debut, Nerdcore Rising. Can you tell us what you're going to start out with?
Yeah, we're going to start with the opening track from the Yes Gabriel EP. It's called Dear to Me. And all these songs it's kind of a suite of songs about lost love. And this song is about lost love in New York. So there's a lot of name checking of specific places and bodies of water in New York.
Right.
The night I met you, we boarded a subway train. 20-minute ride to the place where you were staying. You leaned in close, your face next to mine. Your breath was warm, smelled like smoke and wine. Battery Park, a building made of glass. We rode up in the elevator so fast. I didn't realize how far you would take me. But a night has consequences you can't foresee. You will be always dear to me. You will be always dear. You will be always dear to me. You will be always dear. One night turned to three, turned to four. You left your feather earring on my floor. You left strands of your hair hidden in my bed. And on my pillow, shape of your head. Still I thought I was only passing through, a tourist taking pictures of the view. And when I said goodbye, I felt like I was free. But the nights have consequences you can't foresee. You will be always dear to me. You will be always dear. You will be always dear to me. You will be always dear. Some days go slow, the rain goes pouring. You go. Some days I don't. When it was over, you boarded a westbound plane. Said you couldn't take a New York winter again. I turned the covers over, ready to start anew. I didn't realize the things my heart would do. 'Cause you left your feather earring in my bed. Ooh, and on my pillow, the shape of your head. Ooh, I didn't realize how far you'd taken me. Ooh, but love has consequences you can't foresee. You will be always dear to me. You will be always dear. You will be always dear to me. You will be always dear. Always dear. Some days I can't let you go. Some days I can't let you go. Some days I can't let you go.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for coming and doing this.
Sure.
So you had mentioned the fact that these are through theme is that of lost love, and so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the switch between what you still do. I think in life, you're a composer for TV, film, theater, etc. Can you talk a little bit about more specifically what precipitated that switch? Like, why are you doing this right now? And I mean, are those two different parts of your brain, two totally different gears, or is it all sort of part of a cohesive whole?
Yeah, it's kind of both, like in some ways it's very different, partly because with my other projects, I'm not singing, I'm not sort of the central character. And whereas with musicals, which is really the thing I've done a lot of, it's like I'm writing for different characters and I'm writing for specific scenarios, be they in the present or past. And I have written some more personal songs, but I think the other thing about this project was that I really had to focus on learning how to produce a singer-songwriter album myself. I know that in the past I had worked with producers doing other things, and I'd also worked with my friend Damien, who is going to rap later. We had recorded an album of songs from our musical Young Zombies in Love. But we had also done a lot of Frontalot albums, MC Frontalot albums, but basically Damien was producing those albums and I wasn't. So I had to learn how to, kind of use the home studio as an expressive instrument in itself, which is very different from, let's say, doing a musical where you're really doing it for a live audience, and your job is to enhance the story and to get out of the way of the lyrics so that people can understand the lyrics, whereas this was like a whole different thing where I was creating something that is just meant to be listened to.
Do you anticipate now with producer chops under your belt that you're going to continue doing this, or did you put this together in order to get a series of thoughts out of your head and into the world, or what do you think's coming up next?
Well, to answer one of the questions you asked, I think I did have to just get it out of my head. I mean, I had this breakup and it had a big effect on me. I think it was also not just the breakup, but there was sort of this seismic shift in my life and getting older and just a number of things where it took on a lot of resonance, and I had all of these things that I felt I had to say, and it had to be me. Like I wasn't going to be able to write it for somebody else and have them sing it and have it have the same meaning. So I had to kind of teach myself how to sing while being recorded. I had never learned how to do that. And all the other things. I don't know about the future. I mean, I feel like I'm definitely going to be writing more musicals and hopefully more soundtracks, TV, stuff like that, movies, but I really like playing with this band, and I like
before we move on to the second song, can we introduce everybody?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so this is Joey Slater Milligan.
Right.
She's playing bass, and Matthew Milligan playing guitar, and this is J Mac playing drums.
Right.
Yeah, so these are great guys I've met in different parts of my life. Jay I actually met because he was the drummer in my musical Nobody Loves You, which played like 6 years ago off Broadway, and did a great job. So I was like, hey, Jay. I mean, Jay is everywhere. He's like an omnipresent drummer. He plays with the Skivvies. Who else do you play with?
Theater stuff, mostly, but Skivvies
Yeah.
You are the bands outside of
Yeah.
the theater world
At the moment, right. He was on the Falsettos Broadway run. And then Joey and Matt are in Wheatus, the band that does Teenage Dirtbag and many other awesome songs.
Nice.
And they just got back from a European tour.
Cool. Well, dudes, everyone, thank you for coming and doing this. Can you tell us what's coming up second off of the self-titled debut?
Yes, and then I'm going to have to switch over to the keyboard.
Yep.
This song is called Rains of April. I think it actually might be the second song on the album.
I think we're going in order.
I think we're going in the order of the album. So that's good. This song actually was the last song I wrote for the album. It's kind of like way at the end of processing all the feelings I was having. And I don't know what else to say about this song except that it took a while for me to... This album is primarily acoustic, but there are some electronic parts. And this song on the album is very electronic, it turned out. But then we managed to figure out a version live that I think is nice as an acoustic version. So. And here I go. The trees on the edge of the park turn green around this time of year. They fly like flags in the breezes that roll off the Atlantic Ocean. Everything I know has been washed out with the rains of April. I thought I was the king of the world. I was just standing in the back of the photo. Subway face is tired. We all have our headphones on and our guards up, scrolling through our phones as we ride over the East River. You know I miss you now, and I'm never gonna see you later. And everything we had has been washed out with the rains of April. The bodega 2 doors down from the corner, giving off light even in the darkest hour. But the neighborhood has changed. I barely recognize the photo, and the secrets we exchanged are lost under the East River waters. Town when you look at it from the back of a taxi, crossing the Brooklyn Bridge after midnight with your arms around me. But the greatest love is in memories, and you know those are unreliable. Faces rushing past, just a blur now in the back of a photo.
Yeah, thank you.
It's nice actually to play in this room because I feel like these songs are so like intimate and intense. Like that's how I recorded them, and so it's nice to actually be in this quiet, intimate space.
Yeah, definitely. The environment seems to fit, and the arrangement that you chose to bring here today as well.
Yeah.
So speaking of this environment in this room that we're in, there's like 50 plus years of rock and roll history and everything history, jazz history, country history, but music history behind us right now.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about what you were listening to a lot of during you said 7-year process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
7-year process of creating.
something like that. Yeah.
Because I keep on seeing the name. I see the Shins come up in conversation about you. Howard was talking about the Shins, talking about Nick Drake as well. I hope your answer is not Nick Drake, 'cause it seems like going through a shit breakup plus Nick Drake is probably
Yeah, you probably like
a dangerous combination.
Yeah, that might be bad. I mean, yeah, and you know, what I was thinking about. I think those things just kind of entered my consciousness. I feel like things come out when I'm writing. It's probably true for everybody, you know, that you don't necessarily intend to come out. Like, I'm not like a huge Shins fan. I do think they're amazing, and I think that one song about the kissing the lipless, that's like their big folk song. Like a gull to the wind. That song is incredible, and I think that just kind of entered my brain. And it wasn't like I think I just ended up sounding like the Shins a little bit. But also Nick Drake, like, I love his stuff, but again, he's not, like, the people that I was really into in the 2000s and maybe early teens or whatever was Bon Iver and Sufjan Stevens. And I don't think I sound particularly like either of them. I don't know how Bon Iver does his thing. It's like kind of a weird, you know, like it just sounds like he's howling in the middle of everybody, you know, the cabin in the middle of the woods. But he really does sound like that, and I don't know how he's doing that. Or like how he plays guitar and gets the sounds he gets. But I think Sufjan Stevens, like, I relate a little more because he does a lot of piano-based stuff. But I don't sound like those guys, really. I don't know. I mean, and I think my stuff is more story, I don't know, it's sort of more like detail-based. I guess Sufjan actually does have stuff like that. So I think those people permeated some of this. The Kings of Convenience was another album I listened to when I first got to New York, and I was like, it's such a good record. Was it? Is that Quiet as the New Loud?
Yeah.
Or no, it's Ride on an Empty Street. That's the one I really like. You know, just these really great kind of neo-folk albums where people were taking, like, I always liked folk music. I loved Cat Stevens originally when I was in after high school, and I think those people kind of like revitalized the folk, I don't want to say tradition, but, you know, sort of singer-songwriter folk thing. Carole King was a big influence growing up, and so I think those things just kind of came through. Didn't mean to sound like the Shins at all. And I don't even know what Dear to Me, like, when I started writing it, it really just came, a lot of these songs just came out of whatever, like, the feeling was, but then, and I did do one that, like, when I was recording, I tried not to sound too much like any one person, because I do often tend to sound, you know, like, I want to sound like people. Like, in musicals, I would be, like, when Damien and I were doing musicals together, be like, oh, let's write this number that sounds like, I don't know, what's an example, Damien? Like Rolf the Dog, yeah. Jane's Addiction, yeah. Like, one song was like, let's write a song that sound like Jane's Addiction. Great, and we do like a Jane's Addiction type number. So I'm very attracted to, like, trying to recreate other people's styles. But I realized doing this record that, I mean, it does sound like other people, but I feel like I was trying not to make it sound like one person, you know?
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm glad I asked that question. You clearly have a very solid grasp on music history and on the context in which your music sits. And also the Carole King tape is sitting just above Matthew right there. There's a Carole King and James Taylor, and there's a Bon Iver tape in the other room over there, the Daytrotter tape of his.
That's so crazy. Yeah, Carole King, I mean, those people are such, you know, it's like if you can get even just like a fraction of what they're doing, they're like amazing. So.
Can you tell us what you guys are going to do third off of the self-titled EP?
Yeah, so this song actually has a funny evolution. The song is called You Got Through. And when I wrote it originally, I was thinking of it like, in my head, I was thinking Steve Winwood is singing this. Like it was really like kind of upbeat, almost like
and
a jazzercise.
Also the Traffic tapes are sitting right there
really?
as well. Right at eye level with Matthew.
Back in the high life.
Yeah.
But so I was thinking of this as a very like jazzercise upbeat number. And then over the years, like at some point a friend of mine was like, why don't you drop the key like 3 steps and like also slow it down a lot? And that's where this version came out of, and I think it is more sort of real to what the song is about. But anyway, yeah, it kind of evolved out of Steve Winwood or something like it. I was in a fortress in the heart of Antarctica, underneath a glacier. I made sure nobody ever saw, but somehow you found me. I don't know how, but you tracked me down. You put your arms around me. You pulled me up from underground. You are the wind I could not win against. You are the storm that broke down my best defense. Oh, my heart was barricaded. Nothing could invade it, nowhere to break into. But you got through. You started a fire, and it melted all the ice within me. But as the temperature rose higher, it ate up all the oxygen. So I started running. Seemed like the only thing that I could do. But everywhere I went, I only found myself without you. You are the wind I could not win against. You are the storm that broke down my best defense. Oh, my heart was barricaded. Nothing could invade it, nowhere to break into. But you got through. Yeah, you cut through my barbed wire, found your way to my signal fire, and you made me feel so alive. I was hiding down in my hole, too terrified to lose control. And you said, I wanna hold the hand inside you. I think about you sometimes. Sometimes I don't think about you at all. I wonder if you've changed, if I wouldn't recognize you anymore. All that I have left now are jagged shards of your memory. Still I try to piece them together into who you were when you were with me. You are the wind I could not win against. You are the storm that broke down my best defense. Oh, my heart was barricaded. Nothing could invade it, nowhere to break into. But you got through. You are the wind I could not win against. You are the wind. You are the storm that broke, that storm that broke my best defense. You are the storm. Oh, my heart was barricaded. Nothing could invade it, nowhere to break into. But you got through.
All right, thank you. So we've got now joining us is MC Frontalot.
MC Frontalot,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen.
So can you, this is a question for either of you, both of you. How did this relationship start? It seems you guys have been collaborators for quite some time. How did
long.
yeah? How did it come to be?
14-year-olds,
Yes, we did.
first year of high school.
He was in my, or I was in his AP geometry class.
Wait, why was it mine?
I don't know, because after that I stopped doing AP math courses because I was not good at
That wasn't AP yet. That was merely honors geometry.
Oh, honors, that's right, it was honors, yeah.
AP geometry.
Talking myself up. Anyway, I didn't do
But
honors math after that.
we did take double period AP Bio together.
We
and
did.
boy, was that a trial. We were lab
Yeah,
partners.
that was a travesty.
We took apart tiny animals. Many
Yeah,
very dark memories of that time.
Yeah.
And so you guys are going to do message number 9, which is off of the 2005 Nerdcore Rising, your first album. And you guys did a really good job explaining to me offline how are a number of threads of samples of connectivity between you two guys in this particular song. Can you tell us how?
This song, the very first version of this song was maybe like 2002 or 2003. Somebody reached out to me to be on a compilation of songs, each of which was written about a spam email that the musician had found in their inbox.
Their inbox, right?
So I wrote one about these advanced fee fraud scams that are popular in Nigeria still, and were before internet. It turns out people used to write these
letters
by hand and mail them to England. Yeah.
But yeah, so then, but you sampled.
So I sampled
A song that we wrote, 2 songs that we wrote for this musical, Young Zombies in Love, that we wrote together. So you took a drum part from one song and a keyboard part from another, right?
I think so, and the bass maybe from the same one as the. I should go look at that and
yeah,
figure
go
it out.
look at it.
So that was on the 2005 record, and then it's also on my new record.
Oh, yeah.
All these years later, we did an unplugged version for NetSplit.
Yeah.
But it's called Message 419, which is
the
the kind of scam that we're discussing here. And I just looked up online, Lady Mariam Abacha is still alive. So I hope she's not watching. She was not the actual author of the email in question. Okay.
Oh, she's a real person.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. Okay. It was just like a scene in an intrigue film, and I'm still not convinced that it wasn't for real. Just like a scene in an intrigue film.
Got message number 419. Got message number 419. Got message number 419. This lucky day is mine, oh mine. This ain't intended for me, I don't think. It's a missive from the edge of despair. I mean, brink of total desperation. The communication therein says her hopes for survival are slim, and she's riding to the front, though we've yet to meet with a confidential matter, cause she's heard I'm discreet, and the urgency of her request for my aid is matched by the depth of the trust she displayed. Well, don't betray me like her oil minister did. Staged a coup, and I'm about to flee Nigeria soon, but she'll never make it out, she said, with $20,320,000 US dollars that are still in her possession. She embezzled them, I guess. Look, I don't really know her, so that's none of my business. She's the Lady Mariam Abacha deposed. These days, can't even get her caps lock key unfroze. But yo, something about a widow in distress with $20 million hidden in a metal chest. That'll soften up the front of Lot's heart, no doubt. So I hit the reply button and tell her I can help her out. Got message number 419. Got message number 419. Got message number 419. This lucky day is mine, oh mine. Got message number 419. Got message number 419. Got message number 419. This lucky day is mine, oh mine. She writes me back, dear Front-a-Lot, United States. She acts so grateful, a crate full of money awaits, and I hate delays, so I'm quick to turn around with my full name and the number to my checking account, and the scan of my license to drive an automobile, a passport number proving Front-a-Lot's for real. Then I'll meet the money in Stockholm, ain't gonna walk home. Think I'll retire to the south of Spain and sip gazpacho, not so quick. Seem to be a little problem. Lady A apparently having difficulty running all them numbers I give her, but look, the fake ID's my only one. It's a real passport, I got it off Usenet and checked. I'm not dumb, not some idiot who's about to lose your money for you quicker than I'm getting it. And of course my bank balance is negative, whose isn't? That's why I need your 20% money laundering commission. And I'm wishing I could talk about this further with you, but I can't. Just got this email from Dr. Ubugu of Chad. He's got 177 million in the bag. I gotta help him cause his story is so sad. Got message number 419. Got message number 419. 419. Got message number 419. This lucky day is mine, all mine. Got message number 419. Got message number 419. Got message number 419. This lucky day is mine, mine, all mine.
Seen it in film, and I'm still not convinced that it was for real. Just like a scene in an intrigue film, intrigue film, intrigue film.
Cool. All right, Gabi, thank you. Damien, thank you. Everybody, thanks for coming by and doing this. We appreciate it very much. And best of luck on the self-titled EP. It's out in the world right now. Continued best of luck on 2005's Nerdcore Rising. And all of the tour dates are up on the respective websites and all of the places you would expect those to be. And
can I just plug? We're
please
gonna
do.
have a record release party on July 10th, 8 p.m. in Manhattan at Rockwood Music Hall, Stage 2.
Fly to New York for that.
Yeah, so fly to New York.
Outstanding. Well, guys, thanks very much for doing this, and travel safely down to Rockwood on that date. And thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.